Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Arkansas Style. I am your host, Nicole Neiman, and we're so glad you could join us today. We've got a little bit of everything from new movies, new furniture, and perhaps even a new hobby. Here's a closer look at what's coming up. From Jurassic Jaws to Immortal Warriors, today's Real Reviews segment is loaded with action, and Michael Cook joins us with the scoop on these full throttle films. And he may be young, but he's already making waves in the world of RC aviation. Connor Johnson shows us what it's like to take a flight and skill, style, and sponsorship. And finally, do you ever feel overwhelmed by antique shopping? Well, we're here to help you shop like a pro, learning what to look for, how to spot the gems, and also how to style them. Interior designer Jen Bienvenue takes us to Sweet Home Furnishings and Clement for a lesson in all things antique. I told you today had some variety, so why not top it off by throwing in a furry friend in the mix? Brandy Bowie from the Cabot Animal Shelter is here with another adorable, adoptable friend from the shelter. Everyone, meet Peanut, the 1.5-year-old bully mix that loves people and playtime as much as she loves a fluffy couch. Brandy, great to have you back, honey.
I know, I'm so excited.
Wake up, Peanut.
I know.
It's your time to shine.
She wasn't ready for my driving on the way over here, so she's a little seasick.
Well, obviously nothing upsets this dog because, you know, even before we came on air, you know, she was just roaming around the station, getting to meet everybody, just a sweet dog, didn't jump up on anybody, just wanted to, you know, greet and please.
Yeah, she's pretty great. She came in as a displaced pet back in April, and unfortunately no one came to claim her, and so she's been with us since then. She's pretty great, very well-rounded dog, gets along great with all other dogs, loves to play in play groups, gets along, hasn't met a stranger at all, loves toys, walks great on a leash. There's just nothing bad that we can say about Peanut. I mean, she's pretty chill right now. Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. But she is just so wonderful. Did great with a bath today on the way over here before we came over. So we're not really sure why. I just think that we're having such a struggle adopting out large dogs right now that, you know, Peanut's just kind of a victim of the whole after COVID large dog situation we have going on. So.
Yeah, I mean, folks at home, check out your TV screen because if you are looking for a new friend to add to your family, Peanut is up and ready to go. And when you say she's a displaced pet, she must have already had some experience in a home, yes?
That's what we assume. Again, we don't know her history. She came in as, again, a displaced pet. That's what we consider stray animals. So we think she must have been in a home with a family. She keeps a very clean kennel, and she has lots of experience, again, with people, with other dogs. And she's just such a love bug. I mean, she's very chill. You just couldn't ask for more. Like we just love her so much.
Oh my gosh, and her markings are beautiful. I mean, she really is a gorgeous pet. And again,
so
we just can't stress enough about how friendly she is because again, a lot of times, you know, you want to know what kind of personality the dog is going to have, but you know, just seeing Peanut roam around and hang out here in the station, I mean, she had no trouble at all. She was like the mayor of KARK today.
Right, she doesn't meet a stranger. She tried to do weather for a little bit over there in the corner. I mean, she's just a pretty great gal.
All right, well, again, it is so important to always stress, you know, shopping at the shelter first if you're looking for a pet, because of course these pets need homes and they come with all kinds of great services. So let's remind everybody, you know, things that when you do a private purchase that you're going to have to pay for, but the pets come with these things taken care of.
So when you adopt, say you adopt Peanut, she comes fully vetted, so that's spayed or neutered if it's a male, vaccinated, heartworm testing. If they're heartworm positive, we have a grant that pays for the treatment. So you do it all at our facility. You get collar, leash, treats, free dog training if you need training after you adopt. We have dog beds. We have basically everything you need. We provide you with the food to get you started, but we also host a pet pantry. So, you know, we have lots of things available to you. We want to be that resource for you after the adoption process. And we don't just stop there when you adopt from us. We do follow-ups. We have all of the things you need to make you a good pet owner to provide you with those resources that you might need later on.
So maybe there's somebody who's watching that isn't necessarily interested in adopting an animal and taking that into their home, but you're always looking for help and for supplies.
Right.
Let's invite somebody who is looking, to maybe share, their time and talent that way.
For sure. We are always looking for volunteers. Always, always. We have so much you can do. And you don't necessarily have to work at the shelter with the animals, because some people, they don't have the heart to walk into the facility, and we understand that. It's a lot. And it's heartbreaking to leave without taking them all. So we have what we call a programs office, where I have volunteers there right now bagging food for our pet pantry, building enrichment toys for the dogs and cats, because we do enrichment every single day. So there's lots of different activities that we have that you wouldn't necessarily be hands-on with the pets. But if you want to be hands-on with the pet, we have so many things to offer at the shelter. We have socializing pets, bathing them, helping clean up after them. There's always that. But just helping adopters, there's lots of different things. Photography, if you're into that, videography, social media. So there's lots of different activities you can do, and we don't have an age range. So we allow the youngest of volunteers up until, if you want to come in your cane and walker, whatever, we got all the jobs for you.
And you get incredible company with you,
Yes.
Brandy. You are such a fearless leader and such
Thank
a
you.
big heart. Well, great to have you back. We'll
Yes,
see you
thank
again at
you.
the end of the month, huh?
Appreciate you.
All right, with your girl.
Yes,
right?
I'm so excited. Lakin will be coming.
I know her daughter. Love it. Okay, well, if you are interested in adopting Peanut, you can reach out to Cabot Animal Shelter at 501-628-5900 or visit them off South 1st Street in Cabot. Now, don't go anywhere. Michael Cook joins us next to break down the latest Jurassic World film. Plus, Charlize Theron returns to the action-packed follow-up to The Old Guard. We'll be right back. You're watching Arkansas Style.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
I have to give this movie a 6.5 out of 10.
Beautiful people and tennis.
I mean, what more do you need?
Sometimes more is not more.
Exactly.
It's a very, very good movie.
Quite an endorsement. Welcome back to Arkansas Style. We've got a high-octane reel reviews today packed with pulse-pounding action. Wow. Film critic Michael Cook is back with his take on Jurassic World Rebirth. Yep, the dinos are back. He also is breaking down the sequel to The Old Guard, starring Charlize Theron as the immortal warrior fighting powerful enemies. Well, let's see which one's worth the watch. Michael, great to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay, I've seen Jurassic, the first one. Don't know anything about the Charlize Theron one. Can we start with that one?
Let's start with the Jurassic.
You want to start with Jurassic?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Rawr.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett, our mission specialist.
Sorry, what mission?
We look towards Barbados, avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16. These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst were left here. We put ourselves in a place we don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
Nice. I think I'm going to like it. New cast, though, huh?
Yes.
Same Steven Spielberg, though?
He's not. He's kind of like an executive producer on this one, but still same concept with dinosaurs are on the Earth again. But now in this world, dinosaurs are kind of seen as old hat, like they've been around for a while, and because of climate change in this movie, they're all along the equator. So Scarlett Johansson is a mercenary who's been hired by a big pharmaceutical company to go to the equator because apparently in 3 different types of dinosaurs, in their blood could be cures for like cancer and heart disease. So she leads a ragtag, gang down there, along with a scientist played by Jonathan Bailey and the big pharma representative played by Rupert Friend, and Mahershala Ali rounds out the cast as the leader of as the boat captain and former and friend of Scarlett Johansson, all to find these dinosaurs and get their blood to save the world. Of course, at the same time, there's a family that was doing a trip across the equator in a boat. It's a father, his 2 daughters, and their knucklehead boyfriend. Of course, we know it's going to crash because it's a movie, and they have to kind of shoehorn a family in there because you have to have kids in this film somehow, some way. So they get to the island, have to fight to survive, number 1, and number 2, get the blood to save the world. So look, this is number 7 in the series of the Jurassic Park, franchise, as it were. If you want dinosaurs and people being chased, and this one is for you. But for me, it just has been done so many times before. I love Scarlett Johansson. I think she's one of our better action stars. She does a fantastic job. But for me, it just sort of took so long to get to the action. The character development wasn't quite there. So it's a popcorn movie. If you want to see a good dinosaur thing on the big screen, go see this one. So the score I give it is a 7.5 out of 10. So it's not. I call it. It's not bad.
All right, it's beating a dead horse or dead dinosaur.
Right, exactly. Let that T-Rex go.
The joke writes itself. Okay, well, interesting review. All right, well, we'll see. I do like Scarlett
Yes,
too.
she's good.
Yeah, she's terrific. Okay, moving on. We are going to go
Old
to
Guard 2 on Netflix.
All right, let's check it out.
For centuries, I've watched you fight to protect humanity while forsaking your own kind. I will destroy you and everything you stand for with a power you can't even imagine yet. Who is she?
She is the first of the immortals. She knows your histories, your relationships. I am scared of what she is capable of.
You and your friends don't have much time left.
Do you think she knows that I've lost my immortality?
Nothing that lives forever.
One day you'll understand. Every minute is a step towards death.
Then you're coming with me.
Okay, well, I know nothing about this series. I know Charlize Theron a little bit. I'd like to see her, in high fashion. I'm not sure about the double gun thing.
She's also another fantastic
Really?
action star. Of course, this is Old Guard 2, so that means there's clearly an Old Guard 1, which you can watch on Netflix, which I would recommend to see before you see Old Guard 2. You could watch Old Guard 2 without knowing the first one, but it's better because there's plot lines that are flowed through here in the sequel. So the basic plot line is Charlize Theron, she is what's called as an immortal. She can't die, and she leads a group of other immortals, like 5 or 6 others, and they, scan the globe fighting for justice, but nobody knows that they can't be killed. You stab them with a knife, and the knife, heals, the wound heals completely. But of course, at the beginning of the movie, we discovered that Charlize Theron, what happened in the last one, she has lost her immortal ability. They don't know why. At the same time, there is Uma Thurman's character, who is the villain in this movie, who is, trying to do something to, like all these kind of things, take over the world or destroy. But there's a lot of action as these people go through trying on their quest to find the special something. And I'm being vague so as not to give anything away. I loved the original, The Old Guard. That was a lot of fun. This one just lacks heart. And even with all the action scenes, it's the thing, you can forget that you're watching it while you're watching it, which is not a good sign for an action flick, even though Charlize Theron is good at the action thing, but this one just didn't quite work for me. I have to give it a 5.5 out of 10.
Whoa, okay,
So just
that is down in the dumps.
So watch the Old Guard, the original.
Okay.
You know, if you want to really see the sequel, that might be for you, but I wasn't crazy about it.
All right, well, good information. Thank you,
All right.
Michael.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
You can join the Mission Squad for Jurassic World Rebirth, playing now in theaters near you, and The Old Guard 2 is available to stream on Netflix. Now, still ahead, we're talking to Connor Johnson, a young RC pilot who's already turning heads with his skills in the sky. Stay with us. You're watching Arkansas Style.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Welcome back to Arkansas Style. If you've ever seen an RC plane do flips, rolls, and tricks that seem impossible, it might have been flown by this next guest. Connor Johnson is a sponsored RC pilot who flies giant-scale 3D airplanes, and he joins us today to talk about how he got into the hobby, what it takes to master those moves, and the community that keeps him flying. Connor, great to meet you, honey. Okay, well, I've not only not seen RC planes do flips and tricks, I've never seen an RC plane. These are actual flying machines. Tell me a little bit about the sport.
Yeah, so basically, you know, the RC hobby is a lot of fun. You know, it can get people together, especially with these big planes. You know, you have to go out to fields to fly them, so you know, you can gather big groups of people. You know, meet people, and you know, just have a lot of fun.
I mean, folks at home, check out your TV screen. If you're anything like me and you've never seen this, I mean, this is really something quite impressive. When Connor brought these planes into the station, like, I couldn't believe it. They look like pieces of furniture. They look like giant-sized toys, but look at these things. These are legit airplanes flying high up in the sky. RC, what got you into this, Connor?
So, yeah, what got me into it was a few years ago, you know, going in North Little Rock, going by the hobby stores, you know, we would walk by the airplanes that we saw in there and, you know, think, you know, what if we got into it? And so one day my dad bought me an Aero Scout, and on that fateful day we flew it out where we live, and well, didn't go so well the first time, but I'm here now.
But you were hooked.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about, so these you can buy in hobby stores, is that right?
With the bigger balsa planes, not as much. So these models here you can buy at Tailslide Aviation. You know, they're based out of DeLand, Florida. It's a dealer for Pilot RC, which is based in China.
Okay, so again, folks at home, check this out. I mean, this thing actually goes up in the air and flies. I mean, it really is incredible. I mean, I can't even imagine what it was like to get it here to the station. It comes off in pieces and you take it by a trailer? Is that how this works?
Yes, so yeah, the wings will come off. We have like latches in there that we can take them off with, as well as the stabs, and we have like little wheel chocks we secure them to the trailer with, so it's pretty cool.
I mean, these are massive. Okay, so aside from just loving to fly these things, there's also kind of a competitive part to this, yes?
Yes, absolutely. Like there's freestyle contests out there, IMAX stuff that's more like scale, you know, trying to fly in perfect lines and dots. But yeah, like there's the Tucson Aerobatic Shootout out in Arizona, which is a pretty prestigious freestyle competition, invitation only, so you know, that's my goal one day.
So explain to me a little bit more about the mechanics. So you've got a little remote controller, I assume,
yes,
and you're flying this. So what is kind of the technique of all of this, and what makes you so great at it?
So the reason I'm so good at it, I guess from a young age, you know, I picked up things pretty fast, and you know, like I would get into all sorts of different hobbies, and so that kind of helped me. But yeah, so you have the transmitter, and then inside the plane we have what's called a receiver, and that sends out like the radio signal to the servos and stuff, which gets the surfaces to move. So,
whoa!
that's what allows it to do all the crazy tricks and stuff.
Is that right? Okay, so they're like the flaps on the wings
Yes,
of a
exactly.
normal airplane, and that's what allows it to do all those tricks. And you're controlling all of this through this this receiver, yes?
Well, yeah, through the radio.
Through
yes.
the radio. Look at me getting the lingo down. Okay, and so you're traveling all over competing in this. Where does this take you next?
Our next event, I believe, is in Memphis. So, but yeah, they're all over the place, mainly in, like you see a lot in Georgia, Florida, like North Carolina. That's where the biggest one is, like Joe and all. We had in May, which had like over 10,000 people. So.
Okay, so if people are just meeting you and learning about the sport like I am, if they are really, their interest is piqued and they want to follow along or even actually come see you, how do they get on your social media?
So I have a Facebook. It's Connor Johnson RC Pilot, as well as my YouTube is that same sort of handle. And you know, you can find me like on Saturdays and stuff. We fly out at Mid-Arkansas Radio Control Society, which is in North Little Rock, and then in Wrightsville there's Farm Club. So.
Oh, fantastic. Any aspirations to maybe be a pilot one day?
Yes, that's actually my next goal. I'd like to be an airline pilot, specifically for Delta. So.
Okay. Okay, good choice. Delta, you've got your new captain aboard here in Connor. Well, this was so interesting. Thank you for teaching me a little bit about it.
Yeah, no
Continued
problem.
success to you. From a hobby to high-level performance, Connor's showing what's possible when passion and precision come together. You can check out his videos and some seriously impressive flights on his YouTube channel, Connor Johnson-RC Pilot. Do you love the thrill of the hunt at antique stores, thrift shops, and garage sales? Do you dream of finding that $10 piece of art that turns out to be a masterpiece? I'm going to teach you how to spot treasure. You won't want to miss this next segment. Stick around, you're watching Arkansas Style.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Jen.
Welcome in.
Well, for all of you treasure hunters who want to learn how to shop for antiques, I am at Sweet Home and Clement Furnishings. I have asked interior decorator Jen Bienvenue to join me and teach me a little bit about how to shop for some of these beautiful antiques. Wow, what treasure.
It's a lot of treasure, I know. That's part of my favorite thing is the treasure hunt and learning alongside great dealers.
Okay, well, a lot of times we see colored glass. What are we shopping for?
Sure. So a lot of times you'll find colored glass in booths. You can see where you've got some rough spots where the glass was blown. We're usually on the lookout for Murano pieces. You can tell usually by the weight when you pick it up. They're wonderful and sculptural. They're wonderful on top of a stack of coffee table books. You can usually tell the quality. They're usually polished underneath. Sometimes you'll find a tag, sometimes not. There's usually some kind of iridescence in there, so reflects light and lamplight wonderfully in the evening.
For people who have never heard of Murano glass, what is it? What makes it so special?
Sure, it's Italian-made glass. We are just really fortunate to have tons of it all over the U.S. and you know. Also, Murano makes lots of different lamps. So a lot of lamp makers from way back when sourced Murano glass for a lot of their pieces. And so you'll find it in shops all over the place and in homes. And it's fun to kind of be on the lookout and figure out what you're looking at. So,
Okay, so we're
yeah.
going to judge it by its weight and by that polished bottom.
Yes, it's
Those
very
are good
heavy.
indicators.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned shopping for lamps. There's some great ways that we know what we're buying with lamps. How do we determine that?
Absolutely. So the first thing I usually do is check the socket. Sometimes there'll be a maker tag on the socket. I'm usually on the lookout for a few different types of brands, really wonderful Chapman, Frederick Cooper, wonderful makers from 60s, 70s, 80s. A lot of people get distracted when there's a lampshade on it. That is usually the first thing that dates a lamp. We can take shades off, we can adjust the harp and style them with a modern shade, but lamp bodies are usually classic and they're never going out of style. So a lot of them are urn shaped. The next thing I'll do if I don't see a maker tag is I'll check underneath on the base just to see if it's something that's heavy. I might ask the dealer, hey, do you mind if I check for a label or any of that? I also will kind of look inside the socket and see, is there dust? Is there something that's kind of asking for a repair? So a lot of clues and things to be on the lookout for when you're shopping for lamps.
Okay, so again, when we're treasure hunting, it's an awful lot of fun to find kind of these like, little accessories, but furniture, boy, can you find some incredible pieces and
really
some great
can.
value.
Yes.
You have one in mind, right?
Yes, I do. So there's lots of wonderful wood furniture to be on the lookout for. Benches, trunks are usually my go-to. How can you repurpose them? Sometimes you can use a trunk as a coffee table or a side table. Sometimes you can use it at the foot of a child's bed and store blankets and toys in it. But desks are really usually the most functional. And we've got a desk in right now. So what I'm always looking for when I'm looking at wood furniture is I'm looking for a maker tag. Usually it's going to be, whether it's a sideboard or desk, it's going to be in one of the top drawers. I usually start with the middle drawer. It'll be on one side, but this one it has a Drexel stamp in it. So that's exciting to kind of be able to go home and do research about what you found. If you don't find it in the center drawer, sometimes it'll be on a side drawer. And then I'm kind of beyond that, the maker's not always the most important thing. Do I like the piece? Is it a wood tone that would work in my house? This particular desk has got a leather top to it. That's really wonderful. I also want to consider the price. If I had to go buy a desk brand new, what would I spend on it? And so usually you can justify buying an antique piece and before you go spend on something new. So that's an exciting puzzle to kind of put together in your home.
Yeah, I know it's not polite to talk about price, but this again is what treasure hunting is all about.
Yeah.
Because not only can you find pieces that are so beautifully made, but at prices that are certainly within your reach and have such great stories to tell.
That's right.
Speaking of stories to tell, I had asked you what's maybe the most expensive piece in here.
Sure.
And there's a great story about some chandeliers.
Yes,
Would you show me?
we have some really fabulous rock crystal chandeliers in here. Come
All
see.
right, let's go check them out. Okay, so Jen, what's fun is sometimes with the antiques we don't know the story behind them, but these pieces we do.
We do know the story. So these were, there used to be 4 of them. One I installed in a home, one just recently sold, so we have 2 of them left. But they're really fantastic French rock crystal chandeliers. They came originally from a dealer in New York, and they have an Arkansas connection. They settled in Fort Smith. So they are no longer with us, but it was a really fun find. Chris Clement found these in town, and they still had the French import tag on them, and so that was really exciting find. And I've been in shops all over the Southeast, and I've not seen chandeliers this good in a while. So they're really fun for dining rooms or entries, and just a really glamorous way to say hello. So.
Well, folks at home, if you love to treasure hunt on your own, I totally understand. But if you need a little help from an interior decorator, Jen's your girl. Jen, how do we reach you?
Yeah, I've got an Instagram, I've got a website. JB Invenue Interiors is my business. I love putting puzzles together with furniture, art, budgets. So it's a lot of fun.
Thank you for joining me. Okay, well, I'm going to do a little more treasure hunting. Are your friends and family up for a little friendly competition at your next backyard barbecue? Well, I've got the perfect perfect game to show you next. Stick around, you're watching Arkansas Style.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Let's play a little music. Because they have all the products that I am obsessed over. So I hope you enjoy. Welcome back to Arkansas Style. Get ready to test your aim and ignite your friendly competition and maybe even release a little pent-up aggression in the process. This axe-throwing bristle target game is perfect for your backyard or basement, and it's a product that I am completely obsessed over. And let me tell you, everybody in the station is obsessed over it too. We just set this up and people are fighting over it. First of all, what are you getting when you are buying this axe-throwing game? You are getting a really safe, fun, and exciting game for the entire family. It comes with 8 axes, 4 of one color, 4 of the other color. You've got a bristle target, and then of course you've got the stand and stakes that can go into the ground in the event that you want to put it in your backyard. But again, they're called safety axes because they are not sharp, they're soft, and they go right into this bristle target. And of course, now you're going to keep score with your bullseye, of course, your outer rings. Now, here's the fun part, is that we are going to demonstrate this for you. Remember our executive producer, Taylor Mooney? Well, she's Mrs. Taylor Howard now. We have Laricus, who is our #1 cameraman, stepping out from behind the camera today to test his luck against Taylor. And we are going to see how this game works. Again, when I say everybody in the station has been loving this, actually we have friends that own it and they love it too. All right, so let's see how it works.
I would stand by. I don't trust my axe throwing.
Oh, they're safety axes. That's what they call. Okay, so here we go. We're going to have them take turns and hit that bristle target and see how well they do. All right, Lo, are you going ladies first, my friend?
Oh, no, on
oh, okay. You want to see how it's done? All right. Okay. All right. Here goes Taylor, testing her luck with her safety axe. Boom. Okay. First one. Not a good one. Not a good one. Okay, Lo, what do you got going on here? Okay, all right, look at it.
So I don't feel as bad.
Okay, here we go. Whoa, a little over the top. All right, let's see if we can show the folks at home how the axe sticks into the bristle target. Low. And
we were doing so good earlier,
Taylor, she's going to take her turn. Again, it is a bristle. Look at that. She nailed it. Okay. And look at Lo. Okay, so look at folks at home. I want you to see how the axe just grips into that bristle target. So exciting. And again, very satisfying to throw those axes, right?
It's actually very satisfying.
It is very.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's such a fun game. And again, they're called safety axes for a reason because show the folks at home a little bit. You know, like when you're touching those, they're just plastic axes, no sharp edges, right?
It's all in the wrist.
It's all, and they're pretty lightweight too, right?
They're super lightweight. They've got like, what would you call this? Like a spongy kind of
If you look in
material.
between,
You can separate them.
Yeah.
They go right in the little bristles.
So it'll grip the bristles.
I got to redeem myself.
Okay, so again, fun for the entire family. You are getting 8 axes, 4 apiece. You've got the bristle target, which is, look at this, just gripping those axes so beautifully. And you've got the stand that comes with it, and it also has stakes that can go into the ground in the event that you want to put it in your backyard.
All
right, pressure is on. What you got?
I'm getting a little,
all right,
I'm getting a little bit more competitive now.
I see.
I may get some rage here in a bit.
Taylor, you've got a bullseye there. I mean, we're not going to deny it. You're right there in the yellow. Oh, here we go. Last one. Can she do it? Nice. Okay, girl power. I love it.
I'm proud of myself. I would take this in an instant.
Again, this axe throwing game is so much fun for the entire family, friends, neighbors, relatives. Friendly competition.
It's fun.
It is friendly over here, right? You too?
I think we're all going to be fighting over this game after this. Don't even.
I have to tell you, do you want to test your luck? Brandy Bowie, when she left, she said her daughter Lakin loves to play this. She throws 2 axes at a time.
What?
Let's see what you got. 2 axes at a time. Yeah. Drum roll, please. All right, Lowe's adjusting his fashion hat.
No, 2 at a, two that way.
Using both eyes, not closing one, and
You're kidding me. Mine's gonna be
2
not
at
even
a time in the
close.
same hand. Do them at one in each hand.
This is horse,
how,
baby. This is
I
horse.
do not trust my left hand, so here we. Oh gosh.
So much fun. Okay.
That is so much
Oh,
fun.
here he goes. All right, lining up his shot, and he's going to go, the backwards shot. This is the trick shot?
Okay, I'll stop.
All right.
Hey, it was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. I want to do. Let me take one of yours. I want to do both.
So are you loving this game, you two?
Oh, it's fun.
I'm gonna
it's
perfect the double
Yeah.
throw.
Do you think people of all ages would enjoy this game?
Oh, yes.
100. I'm 30 and I love this game.
I'm 50,
and I can imagine someone
and
young.
I want it now.
Yeah.
It's my money. No, I'm just.
Listen,
Hale, what are you,
imagine
like
your
13?
grandma pulling up in her walker. She can play this game.
Yes, you could.
And imagine your 4-year-old. Okay, well, needless to say, Hammacher Schlemmer delivers again with a product that we are completely obsessed over. They offer high-quality, innovative products. They've been in business for over 175 years. They offer buy now, pay later, and have top-tier customer service, not to mention gadgets that we are completely obsessed over. You can find fun games like this one and thousands of other unique products at Hammacher.com. From electronics to travel gear and apparel and outdoor activities, there's something for everyone. Now, when we return, Lion Legal is roaring to the rescue. Managing attorney John G. Phillips joins us to answer some of the most common questions about bankruptcy. Stick around, you're watching Arkansas Style.
You're watching Arkansas Style on KARK.
Welcome back to Arkansas Style. Navigating the legal system can be quite daunting, and sometimes you just want to ask questions, but who do you turn to and who can you trust? Well, roaring to the rescue to answer some legal questions from some of you is attorney John Phillips. He's managing attorney with Lion Legal and handles their bankruptcy division. John, great to meet you.
Oh, it's good to meet you too.
Okay, this has been interesting, a learning curve for me. We've got questions that come in from viewers, some legal questions. But before we get to those, can you tell me a little bit about the scope of Lion Legal and what makes your attorney so passionate?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I would say it starts off with our founder, Victoria Lee. She's assembled a great group of people. Our partners to the most junior associate, everyone cares a lot about their clients and they're very dedicated, and there's not a lot of egos. And so, among all of our attorneys, everybody does a really good job, and being concerned about the client and providing a good service at a fair price is kind of our hallmark.
Fantastic. And you cover everything from what we're going to talk about today, bankruptcy, to real estate and beyond, yes?
Oh yeah, we do family law, criminal law, there's, probate, bankruptcy, Social Security, disability. There's multiple areas, and there's always a possibility we'll be adding more.
Okay, fantastic. Very helpful to know. Again, a very collaborative community you're working in and pulling on each other's knowledge. Yeah. Today we're talking about bankruptcy, which you know a lot about. Our first viewer question asks, what is the difference between Chapter 7 and Chapter 13?
Well, put it in the most simple terms. A Chapter 13 is a repayment plan, and Chapter 7 is what people kind of traditionally think of as bankruptcy. You just file it, say, I can't afford to pay all my debts, I'm going to let these things go. And if you have like a house or a car that you can't afford, you say, I'm going to keep that and I'll pay for that, but these other things I'm letting go. And you discharge what you can. I mean, of course, there's some things like student loans or child support that are either impossible to discharge or hard to discharge, but you can get rid of a lot. And the people who need the Chapter 13, maybe they've got a home that's in danger of foreclosure or a car that's in danger of repossession or something, and they're trying to keep it, and so they need the structure of a payment plan to give them time to pay it and not lose something.
Okay, obviously you're teaching us there's different options for us, you know, when we're burdened with, you know, this kind of debt. What are our choices? All right, well, that is a very helpful description. We're going to go on to our second viewer question. It says, would hiring bankruptcy be able to help someone dealing with a repossession, foreclosure, or garnishment?
Yeah, and I guess I accidentally tripped over that one a little bit with the first answer, but it certainly can. And it just depends on whether you're trying to stop that or just deal with the aftermath. Because sometimes people have a car breakdown, they don't want to keep it and they can't afford to pay for it, but if you let it go back, you're going to face a deficiency judgment on it and owe money whether you have it or not. Some people are desperate to keep their house or car and they're going to file the Chapter 13. Any kind of bankruptcy stops a garnishment. So, you know, on those kind of three things, you can definitely use bankruptcy to stop foreclosures, garnishments, and repossessions. And just depending on what you need to do with that, it depends on which one you do. And that's why you come to us, so that we can help you figure out which one's actually going to be the most beneficial to you.
Okay, so you covered another viewer question about the, you know, the losing of my house or my car, and of course, you know, coming to visit you, you're able to kind of help us understand that. So we're going to go on to another question that says, will it completely lose my credit?
You know, people always think that, and I mean, I've done this a long time, since the 90s, and so I've seen kind of an evolution over the years of what happens to people's credit score and their credit after filing bankruptcy. And once upon a time, there were some distinctions on how much you suffered from filing a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13. But I would say at least for the past 15 years, maybe longer, since the 2008 collapse, most people will rebound to a fair or good score within 2 years of filing. I mean, everybody's situation is different. I've seen some people file a bankruptcy and 3 months later they're in a situation where they can buy a house or a car or whatever. And some people it takes a little longer, but the standard answer is if you mind your P's and Q's and do the right things after filing, you can have your credit rebuilt within a couple of years and be back on track. And that's one of the things bankruptcy really helps people with.
Such good information. There is hope out there for sure. Okay, we're going to jump to the very, very last question here, and it asks, of course, how do we pay for it? If we're filing for bankruptcy and we're already out of a lot of money, if I file for bankruptcy, how am I going to pay for it? Is it expensive?
Well, you know, it's relative to a lot of other types of cases, not necessarily so. I mean, the average person who's going to file a Chapter 7, those cases typically are in the couple $1,000 range, you know, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. It can be more if it's a complicated case. And Chapter 13s, which are payment plans, have defined fees that are set by the court. And when you file the case, you get awarded a certain amount based on the facts of the case, and they're usually about $4,300 to $4,750. Every attorney gets the same thing. It's no different for any attorney. But you're going to pay that as a payment plan. So you're going to pay a little bit per month over time, and so that's how they pay for 13s. With 7s, I mean, most people have been facing it for a while and have a family or friend that can help them out, or they've been saving for it. And during tax refund season, we get a lot of people coming in and saying, here's my money, let's get this thing filed.
Yeah. Again, it does bring hope and relief. You know, I think a lot of people are afraid of it, but you give them such great direction. Well, great to meet you, John. Thanks for coming in and teaching us a little bit. John, of course, if you want to connect with him or any of their attorneys, just check out their website, lionlegal.com. You can see what areas they focus on, as well as meet the whole pride.
Thank you for watching Arkansas Style with Nicole Neiman. Furniture provided by Hank's Fine Furniture. Nicole's wardrobe coordinated by Style Me Stephanie. Fresh flowers provided by Norwood Day Floral Company.